Every morning, long before you check your phone or hear another person's voice, someone has already spoken to you. You. Take Ryan. He walks into the office, grabs his coffee, and crosses paths with his manager. But his manager rushes right past him. No eye contact, no hello. In a fraction of a second, Ryan's brain bypasses logic and starts writing a script. He decides his boss is disappointed. He assumes he made a massive mistake on yesterday's report. By the time he reaches his desk, he's convinced his job is at risk. If we look at the objective event, two people simply walk down a hallway. But inside Ryan's nervous system, blaring alarms are going off. None of that internal script is based on verifiable evidence. Yet to Ryan, in that exact moment, the threat feels as heavy and real as gravity. We often treat these internal assumptions as established facts, allowing a silent, unverified conversation to dictate how we feel before the day has even begun. To understand why Ryan's mind jumped to the worst-case scenario, we have to look at how human biology processes information. Your brain is essentially a prediction engine, and it struggles when data is missing. Psychologists call this cognitive appraisal. When you encounter an ambiguous situation, your brain evaluates it for potential danger. If an answer isn't immediately obvious, your brain often flags that uncertainty as a survival threat. To protect you, it forces a conclusion to fill the void. It's like guessing the ending of a mystery novel to avoid suspense. Once that guess is drafted, it solidifies, becoming a rigid filter for all incoming information. This happens entirely below our conscious awareness. We walk around believing we are observing reality when we are actually observing our brain's rapid-fire predictions. Your biology prioritizes resolution over accuracy. Your mind would rather invent a fiction and prepare for the worst than sit uncomfortably with not knowing the truth. Back at the office, Ryan is now operating inside that altered environment. His morning assumption has set the rules for his entire day. This activates confirmation bias. Your brain scans your environment for data supporting your new belief, rejecting anything contradicting it. A delayed email, a serious expression, everything fits the narrative that he's failing. The results are immediate. Ryan avoids eye contact. He speaks up less in meetings. His work slows down, and he projects a noticeable insecurity to those around him. At lunch, Ryan's manager finally catches up to him. He apologizes for rushing past. His daughter had a medical emergency, and he was distracted trying to reach the hospital. Ryan's mental loop was disconnected from the manager's actual situation. One man was worried about a hospital, the other was reacting to a crisis that wasn't happening. These unverified thoughts function like a self-fulfilling prophecy machine. They trick our nervous system into reacting to a threat that doesn't exist, which in turn influences the very behaviors we were trying to protect. This dynamic defines the boundary between objective events and the internal filters that process them. It's important to be scientifically precise here. Your thoughts do not physically alter the universe or manifest external events. What those internal stories do alter is your attention. They dictate the opportunities you notice, how your nervous system regulates emotion, and ultimately the actions you take. If we return to that moment in the hallway, Ryan had a brief window of ambiguity, the moment right before the assumption solidified. Instead of letting his prediction engine run wild, he could have paused and asked one question: what else could explain this? That question moves the brain out of automatic predictive coding and into analytical thinking. It's the habit of treating an initial reaction as a rough draft rather than an undeniable fact. We don't control every event that happens in that hallway, but by choosing the meaning we give those moments, we change how we feel and eventually the decisions we make next.